Hey, it's Mark. Let's go. Hey, we got a week off at Thanksgiving, so we got a lot to do. Hey, speaking of Thanksgiving, you're a few giblets short of a full butterball. Yeah, get in here. We got stuff to do. Get the door closed. Why? Because I'm a history teacher, and I'm going rogue. Thanksgiving, food, football, and some of the greatest television of the year. This period, let's take a look at how our ideas of entertainment have changed over a generation, Thanksgiving style. If you believe channels like Watch Mojo or MeTV or Nick at Night, two of the greatest Thanksgiving episodes on television, 1 and 2 on most top 10 lists, are a 1999 Thanksgiving episode of Friends and a 1978 episode of WKRP in Cincinnati called Turkeys Away. Let's look at the two and consider how that which we consider entertainment has changed over a generation. Let's go rogue. Every year, I send out my favorite video Thanksgiving Day card. I send it to all my friends that are my age and can finish the song, Baby, If You've Ever Wondered. That's right. Arthur Carlson is the station manager of radio station WKRP in Cincinnati. The station's made some changes from easy listening music to rock and roll. Two players are held over from the days of easy listening, advertising director Herb Tarlick and news director Les Nessman. The new program director is Andy Travis, and two new rock DJs are Venus Flytrap and Dr. Johnny Fever. Oh, and two women on the show are receptionists Jennifer Marlowe and assistant program director Bailey Quarters. Glass ceiling still firmly in place in 1978. Mr. Carlson in this particular episode is bummed out about his place at the new rock and roll WKRP. When asked if the station should give out concert shirts for Boston or Foreigner, Carlson answers, Boston, those foreign t-shirts shrink. He is assured by his staff that he's doing a fine job as station manager and that the staff can do their job. In spite of the staff's efforts to make him feel appreciated, Carlson comes up with a promotion for Thanksgiving. But he doesn't tell anybody what it is, only that it'll be the greatest promotion ever. On the day of the promo, Carlson and advertising director Herb disappear and Les Nessman heads out to the Pinedale Shopping Center, while Venus, Bailey, and Andy sit in the studio with Johnny. Johnny passes the show on to Les, and we get the following. I think I hear something now. The crowd is moving out into the parking area. Oh yes, I can see it now. It's a helicopter, and it's coming this way. It's carrying something behind it. It's a large banner. It says, Happy Thanksgiving from WKRP. What a sight, ladies and gentlemen. What a sight. You know, the beauty of this entire scene is that we only see Les Nessman speaking into his microphone and a couple of cuts back to the WKRP studio. The rest is left to play out in our minds. Oh, something just came out of the back of the helicopter. It's a dark object, perhaps a skydiver plummeting to the earth from 2,000 feet. There's a second and a third. No parachutes yet. Those can't be skydivers. I can't quite tell what they are. Oh my God, they're turkeys! Oh, they're crashing to the earth in front of my eyes. One just went through the windshield of a parked car. The crowd is running around, pushing each other. Oh my goodness. Oh, the humanity. People are running around. The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement. Oh, the humanity. I don't know how much longer I can take this. The crowd is running for their lives. Children are searching for their mothers. Oh, not since the Hindenburg tragedies have been anything like this. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to my position here, Johnny. And then Les was cut off. The next scene has Jennifer and Andy fielding phone calls from the Cincinnati mayor's office and from the SPCA. With all due respect, a lot of turkeys don't make it through Thanksgiving. At the end, Mr. Carlson comes in covered with feathers with the punchline. As God is my witness, I always thought turkeys could fly. Roll credits. Now, if you're under 40, the most famous Thanksgiving TV episode is from a 1999 episode of Friends. Phoebe enters the apartment and finds Joey with his head jammed inside one of Monica's Thanksgiving turkeys. He tells her that he can do it. He did it to scare Chandler. They try to figure out how to get the turkey off of his head. Then Monica shows up, yells at Joey, then helps extricate him. Chandler shows up and is scared by the sight of Joey, the turkey on his head. Mission accomplished. Good stuff. But very different from what we watched in WKRP. So what has happened between 1978 and 1999? A generation that has changed what we consider to be comedy. In the 1980s, cable television burst onto the scene. Literally hundreds of new outlets were created for new shows. No longer did ABC, NBC, and CBS have a triopoly on television. In previous decades, the best writers and producers were stabled in one of the three major networks. One show might be written by a team of 10 of the most brilliant writers in the business. Now writers and producers are spread out among the hundreds of cable channels, not just ABC, NBC, and CBS, with hopefully one good writer saddled with carrying 5 others that have no concept of comedy. They write slop and hope that a laugh track can carry the show. There was also an invention that changed the way we watched TV in the 1980s, the remote control. In the 70s, if we didn't like what we saw, we had to make a decision. Get up off of the couch, walk to the TV and change the channel, or wait for conditions on the screen to improve. After the remote, if we didn't like what we saw, we could change the channel with the press of a button. Before, the television networks dictated to us. Today, we dictate to the networks. We can vote with our fingers instead of being made to sit through bad shows. Downside, America's attention span has dwindled. It wasn't long before great TV theme songs were gotten rid of. Who wanted to sit through Schlemiel Schlemazel, Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated, or The Love Boat? No longer did we want to sit right back and hear a tale. And no more swimming pools, movie stars. Along with the lessening of the American public's attention span was our inability to use our imaginations to see things. See, when I was 10, I had a box of Legos. They were square and rectangular bricks with a couple of windows and a couple of wheels. I made the most awesome fleet of World War II era airplanes. Not aerodynamic, but I could create some awesome dogfights. Die, Nazi scum. Then my mom would step on one and I would lose my Lego privileges for a week. Legos, man. When I bought my kids Legos when they were little, they aren't just square bricks anymore. Nothing is left to the imagination. Same with cinema, big screen or small screen. In 1960, Alfred Hitchcock didn't show Janet Leigh getting stabbed in the shower in Psycho. He trusted the viewer's ability to create the image in their own mind. In the same way, Steven Spielberg made us sit through a full hour of Jaws before we actually saw the shark. Everything else was acting and camera work, allowing us to create in our own minds what the shark should be like. That was no longer so in the 1980s. The viewer had to watch every cut and every slice made by Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger. That being said, let's juxtapose WKRP's Turkeys Away and Friends Thanksgiving episode a generation later. The episode of Friends where Joey gets his head stuck in the turkey is one in which the 6 cast members shared their worst Thanksgiving memories. It was essentially a 5-minute snippet of a larger show. Attention span. In 1978's Turkeys Away, the writers of WKRP let a story develop over 22 minutes, rather than rush through 6 mini-episodes. Consider also, in the 2000s, TV shows are dominated by the actors. Part of their $1 million episode contract for the cast of Friends was that all the actors had to have equal screen time. So Joey starts the episode with a turkey over his head, and we have 4 minutes to figure it all out to get it off before it's time for David Schwimmer's 5 minutes. In the 80s, the shows are driven by writers and producers. Actors that threw their weight around too much were sometimes written out of an episode or would disappear altogether. Like Chuck Cunningham of Happy Days. I mentioned the writing of the 21st century Hollywood. The episode of Friends was from 1999. The same thing occurred on the BBC series Mr. Bean 6 years earlier in 1992. Is this to conclude that the producers of Friends simply ripped off Mr. Bean? In the 1978 episode of WKRP, the writers and producers produced something that no other TV series had done, dropping turkeys from a helicopter. Now, last thing, I've helped my wife stuff a turkey. There's not enough room inside for someone's head to fit inside that cavity. If there was, that person couldn't talk and would suffocate after only a few minutes. This is slapstick, which I suppose is the role that Joey was meant to offer the show. The picture of Joey with a turkey on his head is on display for the entire audience to experience, No imagination is needed. In the Turkeys Away episode of WKRP, we don't see the turkeys being pushed from the back of the helicopter. We don't see them crashing to the ground like sacks of wet cement or going through the windshield of a parked car. Les Nessman gives us the narration, and the writers trust our imagination to create the scene, like Hitchcock in Psycho or Spielberg in Jaws. Both episodes are Thanksgiving comedy gold, but I think you can tell which one I think is more golden. So, which Thanksgiving episode do you like better? Friends in 1999 or WKRP in Cincinnati 1978? I'll be sending out my video Thanksgiving card soon. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving from HTGR. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something about your elders or about your youngers. Comment, like, and subscribe if you did. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for my producer, Casey Moulton, and Avery for helping out this period, and Mr. Brent Allen for letting us borrow his studio here on the campus of Columbia High School. I'm thankful for you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to listen to some guy you don't even know crack wise about pop culture. Thanks for tuning into this video. I had fun, but I won't quit my day job. And remember, I'm Mark Haggard. I'm a history teacher, and I'm going rogue. Went to a bartender, best night I ever had. Sitting at the bar, I had a microphone in a heart. I said, good bartender, I have a bud in the hand. I said, I'm doing good and putting love out in our hearts. Dun, 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 dun. Meow. And that's it.